Mr. President, the senators are national representatives or people. The House of Representatives is comprised of more than 300 district representatives and party list. They too are elected representatives of our people. In this concurrent resolution, we are admitting, although impliedly, that our mandate of safeguarding the people's money needs people's participation. Parang hindi kompleto. Ba't kailangan pa naming tulungan kayo? You were there, you were elected. Baka hindi po kaya baka isipin sa atin ng tao yan, Mr. President. Nandiyan na nga kayo eh. Now you are making a concurrent resolution. It is as if that you cannot do your job fully. Hindi naman sa ayaw naming tulungan kayo. We are always ready to help you. The people are also interested in guarding the people's money. Pero saan ba kami talaga makakatulong sa inyo? Pagdating sa... Kasi po, ako po bilang isang naging congressman, Mr. President, may access na po ako sa information. Like, bago po ako mag-graduate sa House, ito pong pinakahuling budget, 2025 budget. Mr. President, when we were already on the first day of plenary debates, alam po ninyo, yung unang subject matter sa first day on plenary debates, ito po yung general principles. Wala pa pong agencies, Mr. President. I was about to ask some questions on the parameters set out by our national economic cluster. Hindi po ako nakapagtanong, Mr. President. A battalion of my colleagues prevented me from asking questions. So, Mr. President, kung ako po ay nandun na mismo, gusto kong magtanong man lang ng ilang tanong, hindi pa po ako nakapagtanong eh. Paano kaya po yung mga kababayan natin? How do we assure them? We wanted to give them a level of expectation, Mr. President. How do we do it? Paano natin sila pagbibigyan ng yung participation will be heard, it will be recognized, it will be vetted, kagaya po ng tinatawag ni Senator Soto kanina. Interesado siya rin na talagang malaman talaga. Talaga bang madidinig? Yan po ang gusto kong itanong, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, in the resolution, we also required that both houses should come up with a feedback mechanism, Mr. President. Kasi nga, you're absolutely correct, His Honor, that the information will be out there. People will be encouraged to look at the different details of the of our budget, and they will do their own analysis. But they have no way of reaching out to the senators. They have no way of reaching out to their representatives. There's no way for them to send their feedbacks. So that's why in this resolution, we also included a platform through their websites that people can now send their feedbacks, Mr. President. So it comes full circle. The information is there, but we also receive information. So that is the concept, Mr. President, that we are envisioning.
That will be going back to my original question, Mr. President. Kasi sasabihin sa akin nung public, ano ba yung pwede kong gawin na hindi mo pwedeng gawin? Nandiyan ka eh. Nakabantay ka nga dyan eh. Ang gusto kong malaman, sabi niya, Mr. President, yung hindi mo kayang gawin, kami nang gagawa. Yun ang exactly na gusto ko sana malaman kasi yung tao po naghihintay. Gusto rin nilang tumulong siguro, bakit naman hindi? But what are those things? What are those information that they themselves should access that we cannot do?
Well, Mr. President, like for example, meron ba tayong slide? Yung my X-check? Can you flash it? Mr. President, I'll flash a slide, no? And when we were doing the analysis of the process, we found out that only the NEP and the GAA is publicly available through the website, Mr. President. So if you are, let's say, a budget analyst, no? You want to analyze the budget, ito, Mr. President, only the NEP and the GAA is available in the internet. All the rest of the documents in between are not available. So if you want to analyze the budget, especially the movements, it's very difficult for analysts to track the movements because those information is not available in their website. So yun yung gagawin natin available, Mr. President. That the movement in the budget, especially critical documents, will be uploaded as mandated by the two houses, Mr. President.
And each of the senators of this republic, Mr. President, is in a position to secure the assistance of a budget analyst.
Not necessarily, Mr. President. People expect us to know the basic of the budget process and budget analysis. Of course, not all of us come from the same background, but the public expect us to know at least the basics, Mr. President.
That is the point, Mr. President. Ako po, dahil neophyte ako, I would expect a lot of assistance from my staff, mga kaibigan po namin na makakatulong sa pag-a-analyze ng budget. Importante
Correct,
po
Mr.
kasi
President.
ito. So sasabihin sa akin nung mga kabarangay ko halimbawa, which constitute a small portion of the public, bakit mo pa kailangan itong mga barangay mo? Meron kang mga staff na doon na mag-a-analyze dyan, matutulungan ka. Siguro hindi na kami kailangan sapagkat kami napakarami rin naming problema. Tsaka mas meron kayong paraan at saka kayo may mga tao din kayo na talagang tutulong sa inyo. Parang sa kanila ay kalabisan na. Parang hindi kami masyadong makakatulong dahil sa kayo naman ay merong karanasan at kung wala naman ay talagang maraming tutulong din sa inyo para pagtulong-tulungan yung pag-a-analyze ng budget without the people themselves. Except, for example, in other instances like the academe, talaga naman pong nakakatulong yan.
Yes.
At talagang nandyan naman po sila talaga.
Yes.
Not necessarily the general public.
Yes.
Ano po?
Tama, Mr. President. In fact, typically, even here in the Senate, we engage the academe quite often, especially those who are involved in, let's say, public governance or political science. Parte ho yan ng kanilang mga aralin, Mr. President. So, in other words, we can also tap the academe to help analyze the budget. The budget is it's a very complex document and ang dami hong detalye. So if we can engage the academe to also participate in the analysis and help give us fruitful recommendations that can form part of our process, Mr. President.
Yun pong 2025 budget, Mr. President, gusto ko po sanang gawing isang halimbawa ito. Nung matapos po yung BICAM, ako po ay member pa ng House of Representatives. Natanggap ko po yung BICAM report. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, mga December 6 po yun, 2025, but about 6:35 in the evening. So napakakapal po yun, siguro about 400 pages, if I'm not mistaken. I tried my best na sundan po talaga, pero given the limited time, kasi masyado nang sigido po yun eh. Ang napagtunan ko na lamang po ng pansin, yung pinakahuli, Mr. President, I'm referring to the special provision in the BICAM report. Napansin ko po talaga, there were about 12 or 13 pages containing about 28 blanks. So ang ginawa ko po, Mr. President, ay tinignan ko po, pinagsikapan ko pong hanapin kung merong instruction na nandun nakalagay, like I was expecting that an annex is appended in the report were the material particulars that will be accomplished to fill up the blanks, the instruction to fill each and every blank in every page. Sana nandoon yung, for example, on page 22 halimbawa, this is supposed to be the figure that will be written para maka-accomplish po yun. In other words, di ko po alam kung nagkamali ako, but I was unable to find a particular page signed by the conferees o ordering somebody, for example, the administrative staff of the House of Representatives or whoever was assigned to fill up those 28 blanks na nandun naman talaga halimbawa po and pinirmahan, okay na rin siguro sa akin yun because hindi tayo mawawala because each blank has been designated with a particular data na ilalagay po sa blank. Wala po eh. So I was asking, nagpunta po ako sa office ng Secretary General. Nagbabakasakali po na makahingi ng makita yung enrolled bill because sa ating tuntunin, I think even in the Senate, meron pong 3 or 4 copies na naiiwan po sa either the Senate or the House of Representatives. The problem is, wala naman akong access. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin. Because I need to know, sino yung nag-fill up? Kasi po, nung ito'y submit na sa Office of the President in the form of enrolled bill, 4 na po yung signatories doon, Mr. President. The Speaker, and the Secretary General, the Senate President, and the Senate Secretary. Yung blank po sa pinakahuli, ay po ang para sa Pangulo na po. Doon sa pipirma. So yung enrolled bill, kompleto na po yung detalye, but it did not tell the whole story as to who filled up and what is supposed to be filled up in all those material particulars. So yun pong public access natin, yung taong tutulong sa atin, paano po mapiprevent yung mga ganong pangyayari?
Well, Mr. President, thank you for that question. In fact, I raised that to our technical team here in the Senate that those things should not happen in the 2026 budget. Not under my watch, Mr. President. That the members will be given blank materials to sign, Mr. President. I reminded them to be very strict in the review. Kung kailangan po 2, 3, 4 times to review the documents before letting the members sign, they should do it, Mr. President. So that's a strong reminder to the technical staff, Mr. President. So I know that narinig ko rin yan, Mr. President, during the last budget season, Mr. President. I'm not very sure on the details, Mr. President. Personally, I didn't see any blank items, at least sa akin, Mr. President. But since that is an issue that came out, so I reminded our technical staff to be very detailed in scrutinizing the budget materials, Mr. President, especially the ones we will be signing, Mr. President.
Thank you for your assurance, Mr. President. Kanina po, nilapitan ako ni Senator Ping. Pagtulungan natin, sabi niya. Thank you, Mr. President.
Tulungan o pagtulungan?
Thank you.